Getting used to these installs.
Oh yeah.
Tell me what's on the radio today.
On the radio for today, we have the second half of the Metal Cloak 3.5 short arm lift kit.
Real serious, real quick. Today is part 2. If you guys missed part 1, check out that link in the description. Today, we are installing the rear part of the lift kit on this LJ Rubicon.
What? LJ. Let's do it.
As always, we take a lot of time to make the job look professional and easy. Neither of us are mechanics. We are both working professionals. Aline's a professor, I'm a doctor, and these are all the tools that we're going to be using. We have a tool cart full of tools you've seen in many of our episodes. Here are all of the parts. The reason we love the Metal Cloak series is because of those Kevlar bushings in all of their joints, as well as those shocks and the dual rate springs that truly offer a ton of articulation. This is by far one of the best lift kits you could install on your Jeep Wrangler without a doubt, and I am so excited to take this thing for a spin.
That's right, and if you want to check out this lift kit, we'll put the link right below. Before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button below. Before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button below. It helps us grow. It allows us the ability to make these awesome DIY videos for you, so don't forget to hit that button below.
So why don't we go ahead and get started?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, see it. All right, Greg, do you want to say anything to the audience?
Make sure you have some good gloves on. Let's go ahead and lift up the wheels, the rear of the Jeep. Just make sure you chalk the front tires. You know, Aline, you know chalk.
Back up, bro.
Aline knows the chalk.
And Greg doesn't.
Just to review all of the parts, those are sway bar end links. That is a track bar relocation mount. Those are the upper and lower control arms. We got the shocks, the springs, as well as the bump stop extenders, and of course the rear track bar back there. So those are all of the components. One of the trickiest parts doing one of these rear lift kits, we've done about 5-6 of these before, is those upper 13mm bolts that hold the shock. Now if that breaks as you're removing them, especially in some vehicles that could be rusty, you could have some issues and that could add a lot of time to the install. But if everything goes to plan, this should only take about 4 hours or less. Using a 15mm wrench and an 18mm socket, go ahead and remove your sway bar end links. Let's remove the lower shock bolts. That is a 15mm and an 18mm here. So now that we've removed the lower shock bolts, we're going to remove the upper shock bolts. There's two 13mm, one on each side. These are notorious for breaking. In fact, the last time we did this job, they broke, which was a huge one-day detour. So what I have here is a 13mm attachment, and I'm going to use an air gun because I find that when you use an air gun, the chance of it breaking is less as opposed to using your hand. So I'm going to use the air gun on the low setting. Hopefully it doesn't break. All right.
One down, one to go. And it's out.
So here are the old shocks. These things are totally shot as well, just like the fronts. The funny thing is, the bolts on the upper bolts, none of ours were 13mm. It looks like the previous owner has once changed these parts out. It was like 15, 14, 10, 11, everything but the 13mm. But fortunately, they all came out. Let's continue.
Lower the rear axle. Next, we're going to remove the lower control arms. There it is.
Holy moly, that's a big bolt, guys.
No gym today, huh?
No way.
There it is.
Oh my god. That is the rustiest control arm I have ever seen. Unbelievable. Go ahead and remove this plastic cover over the track bar. As you can see, this spot, because it's covered, accumulates rust. So just go ahead and pry out this tab as well, and we can clean this up with some sandpaper.
And the spring is out.
All right.
Now that the springs are out, we're gonna remove the upper control arms with a 15mm socket. Knock them out. And the uppers are out. There is just a tad more tricky because of the gas tank, but
that's it. Let's lower this axle now. All right, there we have it, guys. Track bar is out. Junk, guys, look at this junk.
Whoa.
Next, you're gonna use a 27 by 64 drill bit to drill a hole into that lower spring mount.
Now it's time to tap. And if you don't have this tool, make sure to check out our Amazon shop. We'll have it listed below.
Using a 1/2 by 13 tap.
Now do yourself a favor and go on our Amazon shop and grab some cobalt tips if you are going to be drilling on this install or any other. On to tapping.
So now we're gonna put this bushing. We're actually gonna install this track bar relocation bracket. And to do so, first we're gonna put the T55 through, but we need to put this spacer through the side. But unfortunately, it doesn't just want to slide in. I'm sure that's intentional. So we're gonna just hit it with a mallet and get this into position.
Perfect. Now go ahead and tighten. We tightened using a T55 to hold the bracket into place. Now we're gonna drill out the 2 pre-existing holes.
There's one down here, there's one up here. We're gonna use, what was it, 9/16?
Let's double check.
It was actually a 5/16 drill bit.
Using a 13mm socket wrench, go ahead and tighten.
So go ahead and adjust your control arms to the desired length. I will put on the screen exactly what they recommend from the factory. By lengthening your upper control arms, you give yourself more pinion angle, but in order to maximize this, you need a slip yoke eliminator kit, or if you have a Rubicon, you need a CV axle shaft. In our case, we're gonna basically make it the same as stock, and then give ourselves 3 additional turns, which makes it just at their minimum of 13.5 inches from eye to eye. So let's go.
And it's in.
Our plan is to tighten everything when the vehicle is on the ground. We're just gonna loosely tighten these now.
Now that the uppers are installed, we're gonna move on to the lower. Let's go ahead and adjust the length. Check out those nasty bushings. I'm excited that we're upgrading. Both control arms are loosely tightened. We're gonna move on to the track bar. Now you're only gonna install in the bracket on this side, and the other side we will attach when the car is lowered.
All right, let's go ahead and connect the driver's side on the axle side of this track bar. We're just gonna put this included bolt here. Leave the other side for now. Once you put the vehicle on the floor, we'll tighten that side.
We're gonna move on to the other side to do the upper and lower control arms. Let's go.
Whew, that's a workout, guys. Oh my god.
Check out that control arm. Time to remove the upper control arms.
Oh, the brake line.
Brake line, then the uppers.
This is... nasty.
Nasty. The length of the control arm, we are putting it in. Time for the lower control arms. Time to install our springs. We're using our spring compressors. Now that the springs are installed, we are going to add the bump stop extenders. Onto the passenger side. And a quick water break. So rinse and repeat. Go ahead and use your spring compressors to compress your spring. And we're in. Time to loosen those
Let's do it.
compressors. Compressors off. Now time for the bumper. Bump stop.
Bumpers. Bumper cars, guys. This is just a game of Mario Kart.
You wish.
We're so close, I could taste it. What do you think?
What does it taste like, Greg? Like
It
a
tastes-
fillet?
No, this is dessert, not savory.
Oh. Next up is the sway bar end link using factory hardware. This table is really slimming out already. Onto that passenger side sway bar end link.
It is so nice that this kit comes with a lower shock mount relocator. We had to buy this separately on our Jeep Wrangler Rubicon, and this is super easy to install. You go ahead and you just put it in just like you see it using your stock hardware. And then there is a hole that is there from the factory, which you're gonna go ahead and utilize as well. And that's it. Let's tighten it down.
Same few steps on the opposite side. Now time to install the shocks. We're gonna start with the top. Now that the top is in, let's go ahead and do the bottom. We are truly at the end of this install. Let's go ahead and install the shocks on the passenger side.
All that's left is this lower shock bolt and then that track bar bolt once the vehicle is on the floor. Let's tighten this up and then put the tires on and see what we got. Let's go Broncos. Oh.
Nope.
All right, guys, it's time to lower it for the first time and hype me up.
Whoa, here we go.
Well, I guess we have to raise it first, right? To get the jacks out.
Yeah, it's a good call.
Are we recording? Are we live?
We're live.
Let's do it. Let's see what big of a difference we made. All right. How does that look?
Pretty sweet.
That is ridiculous.
Wow, look at the clearance. Let me show you guys. Take a look at that clearance. That is insane, you guys.
That is crazy. Oh my God. I love that it's I love the way it's sitting. Oh my goodness.
Only thing left to do is to finish attaching the track bar and tighten everything up. Let's button this baby up.
Well, what do you think?
That's quite the lift, ladies and gentlemen. That actually went up quite a bit. I am so impressed with all the aspects of this kit. It was so easy to install. The manual was incredibly helpful, and I can't wait to take this thing off-roading. Oh, I'm at a loss of words, you guys. Thank you for coming along for the ride for part 2 of the Metal Cloak 3.5 short arm lift kit. Make sure to hit that it's been a long day. Make sure to hit that subscribe button below so you don't miss any of the content. If you are interested in the same lift kit we just installed, we'll also drop the link below. Thanks for joining us, ladies and gentlemen.
And away.
Time to shower all this dirt off of it. You guys should see Greg. There's a reason he's not on camera right now, you guys.